It's been a long time since I made a video, but welcome back. Iceman here, and I've been doing a lot of thinking in my absence about what the channel's really about, and really been evolving in the mission of the channel. So, main thing this channel is about is ultimately self-actualization. So, self-understanding, self-determination, and self-actualization. So, understanding who you are, whoever that may be, what you want, and then going out to get it. And I'm in that process just along with you. You know, uh, I'll talk more about the symbolism of the Iceman and things like that later. That's not really the point. The point of this video is just picking up where I left off. I was looking back at a lot of my old content and I wasn't satisfied. I felt like I was being too much of a hard ass. So the main point of this video is to basically reestablish, the purpose of Forging the Iceman, the channel. And I'll do that by asking you these questions. I would like you to think about them. Assuming you've spent this long watching the video, I assume that you're intentional about why you're deciding to view my content. And for that, I appreciate you. So I'm asking, and I've had to, just as I've been asking myself, what do I really want from life? What do you want from life? What do you want from life? Forget about who you want to be in the future. That's important because that's part of what the Forging the Iceman idea is. But also, I'd like to ask, who would you like to be should you die today? Because at the end of the day, it's good to visualize who we would like to be, but on a day-to-day basis, we want to move through the world in a way that should we expire today, should we face that final bell, should our bell toll, should we face the Grim Reaper, we would be in acceptance. We would be happy with who we are. We wouldn't have any regrets. Who do you have to be able to face death today? Think about that. Who do you have to be in order to be able to confidently and be at peace should you face your demise today? Who would you have to be? What would you have to be doing? What would you be in pursuit of? What type of person do you want to or strive to be? You, this is the key. You. See, I noticed in the past, the issue was I was projecting my beliefs about a lot of things, beliefs that ultimately have, some of which have changed, my beliefs and methods as if they were accurate, or I was making a lot of assertions. But this channel is going to be more about inquiry, and that's something that I'm better at doing anyway. I'm going to be a scientist. And a scientist's job is to ask questions. So, as I am striving to be the best version of myself, to actualize myself, I found that rather than assertions and attachments, because assertions ultimately bring attachments, rather than assertions, I should be following lines of inquiry, because lines of inquiry allow one to evolve, update, and ultimately return to their true selves. So, what type of person do you want to or strive to be? That's what Forging the Iceman is about. Developing yourself every day and creating systems and beliefs and things like that that are going to align you with who you want to be. This is a process. So, the channel is about really providing you with tools, helping equip you with tools, inquiring of you and things of this nature to help you come to understand who you really are and who you desire to be, and also helping equip you with the tools and systems that will help you on that journey, as I am on this journey as well. I'm asking you though, who do you want to be? What type of person do you want to do? What do you do? What do you really want? Right? And this is a deep question. It's a spiritual question. It's something that you have to meditate on. I've had to meditate on it. And I'm still asking myself this question. I've become a lot clearer because I've spent a lot of time with myself, getting to know myself. But I've had to separate from, what my parents might want from me. My parents' vision for me isn't perfectly aligned with who I am. And if I'm going to be happy and if I'm going to be able to face death, at peace, then I have to be doing what I want to do, not what my parents want, not what the culture says I should be, what any culture says I should be, what men or women, say I should be, other men or women, you know, not I shouldn't have an attachment to any of these things I associate with my identity too much to where they blind me from what I actually want. And how do we help know what we actually want? Well, what brings you peace? Um, what's a desire that, you know, no matter how hard you might run away from it, you have that persistence. It stays with you. That Zeigarnik effect, that unfinished business stays in your mind as something that you would like to realize but haven't. Now, like I said before, aspects of your identity, your culture, your background, your parents, all of these things influence your identity and who you strive to be. But only you really know what you really want out of this life. Only you really know. So it's good to think about that and spend time thinking about that. What brings you peace? What brings you joy? What brings you fulfillment? What could you really spend your existence, the entirety of your existence? What are the things that allow you to express yourself to the fullest extent? And these aren't just one thing. I've learned recently that as a human, we have to express ourselves in many different ways. And it's not always it's the ways that, fulfill us and bring us joy that are the best ways of expressing ourselves. Those ways that, again, we come back to, we have a passion for, they always return to us. So, you know, that's also what this channel is about. It's about self-expression and different ways of expressing yourself, how to express yourself to the fullest extent in everything that you do. I believe my philosophy is growing to the understanding that I believe everything should be some form of, I mean, everything already is some form of self-expression. So one should endeavor to engage in activities that enable them to express themselves to the fullest, most satisfying degree possible. That's another part of the channel. And so that's the type of things we're going to be talking about here. Um, but yeah, think about it. What do you really want from life? Who do you want to be? If you were to die today, how would you want to be in order to really have peace? What habits would you want to get rid of in order to have peace? Or what habits would you want to have built, to really have peace, upon the end? What could you really spend your life, pursuing and building with, and what gives you joy and fulfills you, makes you radiant. So that's all I really have to say today. And as always, stay frosty. Winter is coming. Peace. Stay blessed.